Hi everybody, I'm back for my second Facebook Live. I hope you all had a great New Year's and everything's back to normal now. It is for me at least. The kids are all back to school. In fact, I just got back from picking up my youngest son from school. It's starting to rain here in California, which is nice because we haven't had barely any rain here in Southern California. And it's just raining a little bit right now, just enough to get the ground a little wet and slippery. But tomorrow we're supposed to get a ton of rain, and it may cause mudslides and flooding where the fire areas are. So we'll have to be extra careful when we're out and about tomorrow. So I hope everything is going good for you where you are. I wanted to talk today about something interesting. My pastor yesterday mentioned that a lot of people that do I don't remember what the statistic was, but the majority of people that make New Year's resolutions, they actually stop doing them after January 10th, which is just a couple days from now. So I thought that was really interesting when he mentioned that yesterday in the sermon, and it really struck me. So I wanted to talk to you about ways to keep going on your resolutions so that we don't become any of those statistics where we stop on January 10th. So I wrote a post a couple weeks ago about practical and easy ways to start living healthy. So I wanted to talk to you about that post a little bit, and later I'll put a link to it in the comments so you can read it further if you want to. So I gotta look over here where it is. So the first one was about start living healthy slowly. I know at first when everybody gets a new goal or a resolution, they're so excited and they just want to go and do it as much as they can and quickly, and they just jump headfirst into it without even thinking. And that's where a lot of people get discouraged and fail, because they don't take the time to slowly ease into it, which would have a much higher success rate. So that was my first thing, is to start transitioning into it really slowly, just taking it one step at a time, making a small change, one small change at a time. And once you get used to that, then make another small change, and then just keep going. And it's much easier to accomplish your goal that way than it is just to jump head first and try to do it all at once. My second one was about learn how to make substitutions for healthy living. And that was a big thing for us when we switched to a heart-healthy diet. I mean, I had a house full of teenagers and a little one and my husband, and all of a sudden to just make huge changes and to make totally different recipes and everything just wouldn't have worked. It would have failed immediately. So the way we did it was I still used the same recipes that I always did. I just learned how to make substitutions for them. Like instead of regular eggs, I learned how to use egg whites. And then recently our doctor told us we could also start using omega-3 eggs, which is nice because the egg whites obviously are just poured from a container. So when it comes to Easter time or something, you can't really dye Easter eggs if they're just liquid egg whites in a container. So it was nice that he said we could switch to omega-3 eggs, because you can dye those and use them for Easter and for deviled eggs and everything. So it's nice to be able to find changes, and you can keep making changes throughout time as you learn more. So, and also some of the other substitutions, like instead of using unsweetened chocolate, like the blocks of chocolate that you use in your cooking, you can substitute and use baking cocoa, and it still tastes just as delicious, but there's not all that saturated fat in it, which is really important. And on my post, I have a link to some other things that can help you. The third thing is one of my favorites, that it's still okay to snack when you're starting to live healthy, because we love our snacks here in our house. I have low blood sugar, so I have to eat every couple of hours anyway. So snacks are important in our house. So I was so excited to find all kinds of different snacks and things that you can eat that are still healthy for you. There's like baked things. A lot of the crackers, if you check them, they qualify. They just have to have less than 6 grams of fat per serving. about 6 grams of sugar per serving, and the sodium is less than 470. So it's great to learn. You can learn a lot of the things from the American Heart Association website. That's where I learned a lot. And a lot of the things also have a heart check on them, which is really nice. A lot of the products now have the official American Heart Association heart check on them. So you can always check the box for that and see if it's something you can eat. And they're coming up with more and more products nowadays that are healthier, which is really great. So we've still been able to find snacks. I also make things myself a lot with those substitutions I mentioned earlier. So that way we can still have a little sweet treat once in a while. Just if I make it myself, I can make it much healthier. And then my last thing is that you only need 30 minutes to start living healthy. And that's 30 minutes of exercise a day. And it may sound like a lot right now, but you can ease into it slowly. You don't have to do it quickly all at once. You can start out, maybe try 5 minutes a day and then each time increase it. I mentioned that my doctor has me do that with my back exercises, that I only do like 5 the first time he introduces a new back exercise to me. And then maybe in the next week I'll do 6. And then you keep increasing it that way. So that's a good way. You can read more about that on my post too. And then eventually you'll work your way up to the 30 minutes. So anyway, those are my tips for today. And hi, Marnie. I see that you joined my live. So hi, hope you're doing good. So anyway, those are my tips for today. I just heard the garage door open, which means my older son is home from college. And in a minute, he's going to come bursting through the door, and it'll be not loud, but opening the door and closing it will be a little loud, and we'll have a little commotion in here. So I think I probably should sign off for today, but I will put a link to my practical living easy tips in the post below, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next Monday. All right, if you need anything, as always, go ahead and leave me a comment. All right, bye guys. See you next week. Have a great week.